Imagine this one assassination triggers a global war that kills millions, destroys empires, and changes the world forever. Welcome to World War I, a conflict that people thought would last only a few months, but became one of the deadliest wars in human history. To understand the war, we need to look at Europe in the early 1900s. At the time, Europe was full of rivalry and tension. Countries competed for military power, colonies, and influence. The major powers were Britain, France, Germany, Russia, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. But Europe had a dangerous problem. It was divided into two major alliances. The Triple Alliance included Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Italy. The Triple Entente included Britain, France, and Russia. This meant if one country went to war, its allies would join too. Europe had basically become a giant line of dominoes waiting to fall. Then came the spark on June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand, the heir to Austria-Hungary's throne, visited Sarajevo. Many Serbian nationalists hated Austria-Hungary because they wanted independence. A secret group called the Black Hand planned to assassinate him. At first, the attack failed. One assassin threw a bomb but missed. You would think security would become tighter after that. Instead, Franz Ferdinand's driver accidentally took a wrong turn and stopped right in front of another assassin. Gavrilo Princip fired two shots. Those two bullets changed the world. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia. Germany supported Austria-Hungary. Russia supported Serbia. France backed Russia, and Britain backed France. Within weeks, Europe exploded into war. Germany had a military strategy called the Schlieffen Plan. The goal was to defeat France quickly before Russia could fully prepare for war. To reach France, Germany invaded Belgium. But Britain had promised to protect Belgium, so Britain entered the war too. What began as a regional conflict had now become a world war. At first, many believed the war would be over by Christmas. They were completely wrong. Soon, soldiers on both sides dug massive trenches across Europe. These trenches stretched for hundreds of miles. Life inside them was horrific. Soldiers lived in mud, surrounded by rats, disease, freezing temperatures, and non-stop shelling. Between the trenches was a deadly area called no man's land. Whenever soldiers charged across it, machine guns cut them down within seconds. This created brutal stalemates where millions died for only a few miles of land. World War I also introduced terrifying new technology. Machine guns fired hundreds of bullets per minute. Heavy artillery caused enormous destruction. Poison gas blinded and suffocated soldiers. Tanks appeared on battlefields for the first time, and airplanes were used for combat in Spain. Humanity had entered the age of modern warfare, and the world was not prepared for how deadly it would become. One of the most famous battles was the Battle of the Somme. On the very first day, Britain suffered around 57,000 casualties, making it one of the bloodiest days in British military history. For most of the war, the United States stayed neutral, but Germany made major mistakes. German U-boats began sinking ships in the Atlantic, including the Lusitania. Then Britain intercepted the Zimmermann telegram, a secret message in which Germany encouraged Mexico to fight America in exchange for land. America was furious. By 1918, Germany and its allies were exhausted. Food shortages, economic collapse, and revolutions spread across Europe. The Russian Empire collapsed during the Russian Revolution. Austria-Hungary was falling apart and unrest grew inside Germany itself. Finally, on November 11, 1918, Germany agreed to an armistice. The fighting stopped. World War I was over. But the damage was catastrophic. Around 16 million people had died. Entire cities were destroyed. Four great empires collapsed: the German Empire, Russian Empire, Ottoman Empire, and Austro-Hungarian Empire. Then came the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was blamed for the war and forced to pay huge penalties. The anger created by this treaty would later help lead to World War II. Even though World War I ended in 1918, its consequences shaped the rest of the 20th century. The war began because of alliances, nationalism, imperialism, and one assassination. But it permanently changed warfare politics and the balance of global power. And the craziest part? Many leaders believed it would all be over by Christmas. Instead, it changed the world forever. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more simplified political and historical stories. Until next time, stay curious.